Hi, everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So, a couple of days ago, I saw a few men on TikTok talking about this soccer player who is set to marry this former adult entertainer, Teanna Trump. And it was just hilarious. Anyway, take a look at some of the clips I saw.
Nicolas Pepe is reportedly preparing to marry former adult film star Teanna Trump. Their private relationship has been going on for 1.5 years. What stands out is that neither of them has ever publicly acknowledged being in a relationship. Now, Pepe has been photographed shopping for wedding rings with her. Sources say both families have already met, and what surprises the public most is that Pepe's parents did not object. They even fully accepted Teanna Trump's past.
For the life of me, I would never ever understand why professional athletes be fucking with these corn stars.
So French footballer Nicolas Pepe is getting ready to marry Teanna Trump, who's an adult star. You know that term, you can't turn a 3 or 4 into a housewife? Actually, in modern times, a lot of men are turning 3 or 4s into housewives. In 2025, this is becoming the norm. It's like young men ain't got standards anymore. You'd expect a broke man to turn someone like Teanna Trump into a housewife, but this guy's a French footballer who makes 7 figures. And here's my advice to the young man them. You need to have standards, young men. Do you know how many sausages Teanna Trump has had? You want to turn Teanna Trump into a housewife? Really? This is why a lot of people nowadays are coming on the internet saying that body count don't matter anymore. Because of people like Nicolas Pepe. Man like him ain't got no standards. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. Like this video and share it.
A lot of people were clowning Nicolas Pepe for wifing famous train conductor and adult star Teanna Trump. But look at this picture of her flexing his now earned Man of the Match awards. One of them was even for a Champions League game. He wasn't getting these before her. A lot of y'all don't want to admit it, but Teanna Trump changed this man's life. Nicolas Pepe realized that the only way he's going to run through defenses is if he's with a woman that's been ran through. Fellas, sometimes the only way you're going to change history is if you align yourself with a woman who's known for erasing it. Some of you guys don't want to admit it, but the love of your life is currently on her 600 body right now. But she had to go through all those trials and tribulations to eventually make you the man that you need to be.
Yeah. And sometimes, some of these things baffles me because I have a lot of questions. Is it that you want her to remain an adult entertainer so all of you can have access to her with your coins, right? Or are you afraid of what other men would think of you if you ended up with a woman like that, Or you're jealous of her and you wish you were the one with the soccer player who has a lot of money? Because I don't get it. At least he's being honest with himself. He's not running around cheating, while he keeps his wife or former wife at home with the kids, because that's what a lot of these men do. All right. Anyway, let's get into what people had to say quickly.
That guy who left his wife for that porn star, this guy, I wish more men would live their truth. It is plenty of guys out here who would wife up porn stars if they knew that there was no judgment behind it. That's just my opinion. Like the same way I think a lot of women would sleep with 2 guys at once if there wasn't any judgment behind it. Yes, your friend that you hang out with every day, if no one knew in the world, like say if she was a porn star and her somehow all the videos in the world got deleted and everybody's memory was erased except his, and she's like, yeah, I used to do it, but nobody knows. And he feeling her, you don't think he's going to wipe her all the way up. It's just the judgment that a lot of people fear. So it's like, I wish a lot of y'all would live that reality that if you like her and it was no judgment, you going for it. You going for it. Y'all would do anything else, but that's where y'all draw the line. Y'all cheat on your wives, have babies on your wives. Y'all do anything under the sun that's immoral. But this is where you draw. Come on now. You do it. You would also do it.
Just a quick fun fact, the majority of sex workers' main clientele are married men, by the way. Not single. Married.
Remember when I told y'all hoes be winning? They do. Here we are. Teanna Trump, okay? Up here, down here, wherever I put it, okay? But Teanna Trump, not about to pull a soccer player or football player, whatever you call it. Anyway, these men be knowing. They know she's a you-know-what star. Okay, I would call her late at night, but she not late at night. She a movie star, but the alternative version. Okay, they know what she be doing. Okay, they know, and she still gets gouged. So I mean, when we say hoes be winning, they be winning. I don't even know why y'all be acting crazy. She getting wiped. She about to get wiped. She getting gouged. Somebody is out here in these streets, a man of status, claiming her. And then men want to sit on the internet and be like, what happens to all the women? Why are we glorifying prostitution and everything else? Because they be winning. They do. Now, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, compromise your morals or anything. I ain't saying none of that. Because I know we talk about apples and y'all get in my comments talk about oranges. We're not talking about that. We're saying is hoes be winning. Okay? And they be in white. They be living in the suburbs with their kids, going to church on Sunday. Living a fulfilled life. Yeah, they be winning. I already know I talked about this on another video, but I'm just saying the proof comes every day. Every day there's more proof. I do know what y'all don't get. Who's be winning all the time.
Just wanted to talk about Pepe and Teanna Trump, which is hitting the headlines. Footballer was given at one point 72 million to move from Lille to Arsenal, has now paired up, so they're saying, with a former adult star, Teanna Trump. Now, I saw the article on Facebook, and somebody was kind of really being quite condemnatory and judgmental, and I thought, let me look into this, because sometimes when you see people making these judgments, and being a woman, I can ask myself, what kind of people are they? Are they perfect? Do they live in a bubble? Do they not believe that people can change? And is Teanna Trump to be judged for her previous lifestyle for the rest of her life? First, who is Nicolas Pepe? A lot of people unless you're into football won't even know who he is. Well, he grabbed the headlines when he moved from Lille to Arsenal at the cost of £72 million. How can a man be worth £72 million to kick a ball? Really? Anyway, he cost that much. Why? Because at the time he was one of Europe's hottest young attacking talents, rapid pace, high goal involvement, and a reputation as a brilliant winger. Pepe is probably not worth that much now. In fact, he's not. It's a bit like the stock market. They go up and down, and occasionally they disappear completely. Current estimates value at the low millions, but he's still a millionaire. So when Pepe moved from Arsenal to Villarreal in 2024, fans weren't just comparing clubs, they were comparing pressure, lifestyle, media intensity, and who ends up in the headlines. Well, of course, he's ended up in the headlines, isn't he? So Pepe is going through a lot at the moment and is probably under a lot of stress as a player in public transition, divorce, relocation, new club, new pressures. But onto the other half of this trending duo, we have Teanna Trump. Very different career path, very different industry, and yet they've somehow ended up on the same page. Okay, her net worth is also in the low millions region, although in the adult industry, earnings are hard to track because performers often work independently, create their own content, and use platforms like OnlyFans, where income fluctuates. So why is everyone so concerned about these two? Because social media discovered that they were spending time together. Suddenly it becomes not just a gossip story, but a conversation about stigma, judgment, adult work, and what society considers acceptable for a professional athlete's personal life. It's like they take over, don't they? What? Anyway, that's why I don't want to digress. Is all this talk about Pepe and Teanna Trump genuine concern or just judgment dressed up as public interest? Probably a bit of both. Some fans claim they worry that being linked to an adult entertainer could damage Pepe's public image. Some are concerned about his marriage, even though reports suggest Pepe and Fanny B may have separated or are divorcing as long ago as last year. And the media is guessing more than it is reporting. So while others simply love a scandal and will claim they are concerned, they really just find it entertaining at Pepe and Teanna's expense. So Pepe is no longer a man who has fallen in love with a woman, but a footballer who has been seen with a woman who has worked in the adult entertainment business. People don't react to the relationship, they react to the stigma. So why do people stereotype women in the adult industry? It's because even though we're in 2025, society still has a Victorian mindset about sexuality, fascinated by it, obsessed with it, but morally allergic to admitting it. Teanna is a former porn star, now a businesswoman, just like Sasha Grey, who's now an author, Twitch streamer and successful actor. Tracy Lords, She later worked in mainstream TV and film for decades. Jenna Jameson built a multi-million-pound business. And Mia Khalifa, who became an entrepreneur, media personality and influencer, as well as many more. These women aren't exceptions. They're proof that people in the adult entertainment world often have talent, discipline, business sense and work ethic, traits that transfer anywhere. And sometimes the adult industry is just a stepping stone. So can they regain respectability? Well, can Teanna regain respectability? Well, these women have, so they can. The real question is whether society is willing to let go of its outdated stereotypes. Judging someone purely because they just once worked in the adult entertainment dates back from a time when people pretended they didn't watch the very thing they were condemning. But stigma persists because people confuse job with character. The internet keeps content permanent. Some feel threatened by sexual openness, and adult performers are often women who historically face more sexual judgment. So when fans say they're concerned about Pepe being linked with Teanna, what they often mean is, I can't detach my personal views on porn from how I see the people who make it. Some jobs are forgiven, some not. She works in porn, so she must be bad for him. That's the stereotype. And the thing is that you have to ask, if you had a son, if he brought home somebody who used to be a prostitute, how would you feel? It's the stigma. It's the stereotype. Regardless of how lovely that woman looks now, regardless of what she's doing now as a business, as long as you know her past, they're going to be judged by it. So people also project insecurity on them, assuming they must feel threatened or embarrassed. Parents worry about judgment. Siblings sometimes get teased. Children can grow up discovering their parents' past on the internet. And emotional complexity most families never experience. Do we categorically know the nature of their relationship? Do we really know whether they're romantically involved? Do we know whether they even want to be? What we do know is people are outraged about the prospect of these questions being in the affirmative. So what does this tell us about Pepe, Teanna and society's reaction? It tells us that football fans still expect players to live inside a moral bubble. The adult industry stigma is alive and well. People struggle to separate past work from present identity, and many of the concerns about Pepe's personal life come from cultural bias, not evidence. The real story here isn't footballer meets adult entertainer. The real story is how uncomfortable society still is with the idea that people can change, grow and move beyond their past. So what happens next? Pepe will keep playing football, Teanna will keep creating content, social media will calm down and find a new obsession. Anyway, I'm going to stop it there. I haven't got a choice. Oh, yes, I have. Let me just finish what I was going to say. Whether or not they are together isn't the point. The point is what the story reveals about us, our assumptions, our prejudices, and somewhat selective version of morality. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to let people's past stay in the past. Accept that adults live differently now and judge people by their behaviour, not their job titles.
For the life of me, I would never ever understand why professional athletes be fucking with these corn stars.
So I've been seeing a lot of people talking about Teanna Trump dating this famous soccer player, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to talk about this guy, No Fugazi and Corley, and because he was the gentleman that got on here and he talked about women with higher body counts as well as single mothers. They can't get a high value man. They can't find love. Well, this dude, No Fugazi, he's dating a single mother and has kids with her. He had multiple kids with her. I think he had a kid on the way. And then Teanna Trump, who has a body count of infinity, she is now dating a high value soccer player who's world renowned. And I just want to say, ladies, you can take this as a learning lesson. No matter what your body count is, no matter how many kids you bring to a relationship, if you still look good, you can still get you a man, and there's a man that will wife you up, and he a high value man at that.
This man is wifing up Teanna Trump. Leave it to the soccer players. Soccer star Nicolas Pepe, who retired Teanna Trump, is reportedly getting ready to marry her. They've been dating for a year and a half. That's devious, bro. Like if he's happy, they're happy. Maybe he's had a lot of partners too, so then it kind of makes sense. They're both ran through. But that's kind of nuts, man. I mean, at least he definitely is having the time of his life, without a doubt. I don't think their marriage will last very long. I wish both of them the best, but that's some devious shit. I mean, damn. That's nuts. But, yeah, I guess this guy, Nicolas Pepe, is a good soccer player. I don't know anything about him. I think he's French, so yeah, typical French guy right here. And, yeah, good luck to both of them. Hope they have a nice marriage. Hope it all goes well. But yeah, that's some crazy shit right there.
I'm so happy for Teanna Trump. She's about to get married. Gobble, gobble, Thanksgiving every day. And I just feel good for her because a lot of the women that took her trajectory are getting bullied online. It's just like, you'll never find somebody. That's not true. Okay, yes. A soccer player who's worth millions. Okay? And Teanna Trump is all over the internet. So those days are over. All right? Everybody can find love. There's somebody out there for everybody. Salute to Teanna Trump.
Yeah, so as I was saying, for me personally, I still don't get the maths. I don't understand where the rage comes from, why a lot of people are disappointed. Because at the end of the day, they would rather have a Teanna Trump on the side, who they will travel around the world with, give her anything that she wants, have all the smacks that they want with her, right? And keep another woman at home, raising their kids, the one they will take to the dinners, playing house with that wife, wasting her time when they know deep down in their hearts that they prefer a woman like Teanna Trump. Because at the end of the day, you are hurting both women. So why don't you go after the women that you want? Like the lady said, a lot of the clients of workers are married men. They are married to women that they live in the house. They neglect emotionally. They starve them. They don't participate in the raising of their children. And they lead double lives with workers. All because they are afraid that society is going to judge them. And they themselves are very judgmental towards men who end up with women like that. Because for the most part, most of them are still going to go back, search their internet to look at her. Okay? And I'm sure so many of them fantasize about this woman. Okay? But this man decided to, take her off the market and make her his woman, just for him. And she decided, okay, I want to do it. I want to do that. They both decided, and they are both adults, and they wanted to do this. And look at you, mad at it. It doesn't make sense to me. It will never make sense to me. I remember a couple of years ago, I made a video, and in that video, a lot of men were talking about why they prefer HOEs, why they would rather be with HOEs. Just a few days ago, that guy on that podcast, that alpha male, quote unquote, on that podcast who was exposed for being with a woman who had been with 3 other men and so on and so forth. He was so enraged. And time again, they proved to us that those are the kind of women they want. The same women they condemn, the same women they talk badly about, the same women they will bring on those podcasts and say all sort of things about, are the same women they want. I don't get it. I don't get it. The double standards, the hypocrisy is just insane. Because boy math is still not mathing to me. So your problem is that what? She should have remained an adult entertainer so all of you could have access to her while simultaneously casting your stones on her or at her and calling her run through and calling and saying that all the things that they do is not good while you are secretly behind a screen consuming her content. Right? That's what you would want. Oh my God, man, keep telling on yourself. You don't realize that you're telling on yourselves with your videos. Anytime you're condemning work and how modern women move and so on and so forth, you are telling on yourself. You're exposing yourself. You're just jealous that it's not you. You're jealous that he's not picking a man. And women can go and do whatever they want and all these men will be paying them money and so on and so forth. Yes, blame the men. If the men were not there, putting their money into their pockets, all these women on, OnlyFans and all the other places, they'll be out of business. The reason why there are so many women, they're making millions and millions every year is because all of you are signed up and giving them your money. You can't control yourself. You don't know what to do with yourself. You lack guidance and direction. You rather listen to red medicine men from sun up to sundown and come out here and say all sort of rubbish than fix your own life and project, blame. That's all you do every single day. And then when you see another man who has money and decides, hey, I want to live my truth. I want to live my life. You're here judging still. So what do you want? Go find something to do. Make money. And when you are done making money, be bold enough to choose the women that you want. That's the challenge. That's the real challenge. The real challenge is going after the women you really want. Okay? Not settling, not being with the women you don't want while you're cheating on them, not being with the women until you have money so you can leave them, not being with the women that will give you a place to stay. No, the real challenge is to go out there, make your money, become the kind of man that you want to be, right? And then go after the type of women you actually want. That's the challenge. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here and I'll see you again in another one. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.